Many have tried, many have failed, only one has ever succeeded. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys and welcome to Ninja Warrior of Halo. I'm Hunting at 751. So far we've seen all 100 of our wannabe ninjas take on stage 1 and an incredible 15 managed to succeed, the most ever in Ninja Warrior of Halo history. And that was despite top veterans including iGametypes, Sakeshi, Sane the Legend and Elite MKB all failing stage 1. Add on to that the fact that long-time veteran Dusterbuster 2K and the Grand Champion Re95 both missed this tournament. Strictly speaking, there could have been even more clears. Nevertheless, 15 challengers did move on, and in the last episode we saw the first 5 take on the second stage. 2 of them failed early, whilst another 2 got deep into the stage but ran out of time. However, one man did succeed. The newcomer, Gotenks, managed to defeat all of the obstacles and the time limit to advance to the 3rd stage on his debut. Very impressive by Gotenks. But there are still 10 competitors waiting to run the course, which include the top veterans. Who else has what it takes to join Gotenks in the 3rd stage and overcome the stage of speed? Let the battle for stage 2 continue. First up to take on stage 2 today is returning competitor Snosbreeze, or So. Another of the 7 competitors taking on stage 2 for the first time ever. He has 80 seconds to complete 6 obstacles. First is the chain reaction. Launch yourself down, hit the shield in the right spot, and launch to the other side. This is only Snoz's 2nd appearance on the course. His first was in the last tournament, when he was one of many people that failed the jump hang. But now he's made it to the 2nd stage, and he's onto the spider walk. This is the obstacle that probably causes the most problems. It's very time consuming, and some of these jumps are quite tricky, but Snoz is handling them okay at the moment. Onto the downward section, wiggle left and right and then get out the little hole, and now he's onto the balance tank. Now he's not taken a gun with him, he's only got his sword and he's rolling the ball the traditional way. I think this is the slow way of doing it. I think you should shoot the ball onto the track and then use the gun to make the ball roll faster. But Snoz is trying to do it this way. This is costing him a lot of time, but he's through. Now for the metal spin. This is the new obstacle. Just like Smokey, he's got to jump onto the column and then get to the other side. No, Snoz! Oh, he's undone! Oh, he's gone on the metal spin. First person ever to fail the metal spin. Next up is Sleepy Slayer 5. Sleepy has been taking on this course since Tournament 7 when he was known as TRG Sleeper. And although his first few appearances didn't quite go to plan, he's kept coming back and has always been determined to get that first stage 1 clear. He used to run his own obstacle course back on Halo Reach and was one of the top competitors, top veterans on Smokey's course in the early tournaments. He was very unlucky not to beat stage 1 in the last tournament when a combination of lag and too many attempts at the warped wall meant that he reached the finish line, but he was just out of time. However, he bounced back in style in this tournament. Although he suffered a massive lag spike at the very end of stage 1, he still managed to succeed for the first time ever. And out of the 7 that have beat stage 1 for the first time in this tournament, his was probably the most significant for the number of times he's tried. But now, having beaten stage 1 for the first time ever, can Sleepy beat stage 2? So Sleepy, the last of the 7 competitors that are taking on stage 2 for the first time. 5 of them have failed, but 1 has succeeded. Can Sleepy make it too? He's been running this course since Tournament 7. That's nigh on 2 years, but this is the first time he's made it to stage 2. Can he make it to stage 3? Can he make his big chance count? He took the shortcut onto the spider walk there. You can clearly tell he's been around a while. He's been watching the top veterans and learnt that technique. Even something like that, guys, can save a few seconds. And every second counts on this stage. Doing little bunny hops across section of the columns. Now moving down and heading onto the balance tank. Now he's also not taken a gun. He's doing it the traditional way as well, although he is rolling the ball a little bit faster than Snoz was. And he's off it nicely. Now for the metal spin. He's familiar with this obstacle from Smokey's course. Snoz just failed it. Sleepy goes for it. Oh, he lands it, but no! He can't get off the other side! Sleepy's gone as well. Oh. Next up is the first of the veterans, EExpose, on stage 2 for the second time. The first time was on his debut 2 tournaments ago in Tournament 12, when he actually beat stage 2 as well. But this version of stage 2 is much different to the one he tried in Tournament 12. Can he still succeed though? Heading up the brick climb nicely onto the spider walk. There are of course lost his bearings there a little bit. There are of course 4 changes that have been made to this stage since Tournament 12 on the chain reaction, the balance. Oh, he skipped a column there, that's nice. On the chain reactions, the balance tank, the new metal spin, and the vehicle ramps. And now he's coming to the first, or the second of those changes, the balance tank. Now he has taken a gun with him, and he's making good use of it, getting the ball to roll nice and fast. Very good by EExpose. Perhaps he didn't have to wait that long to get off, but he is off. And now for the metal spin. 2 people have just failed it. Can EExpose do it? Yes, he's landed it, and he gets off the other side. Now for the vehicle ramps. 13 seconds left. I think EExpose should be able to make this now. He goes for the first 2 very nicely. Klaxon sounds, lands the third one, and EExpose books his place in the third stage with 3.6 seconds left on the clock. Well done to EExpose. He beat stage 2 again. He was pretty solid on all of the obstacles. Wasn't going at a super fast pace, but it was still good, and he was able to make it within the time limit. He's the second person to advance to the third stage, and the first in this episode. Well done to EExpose. Next up is another returning competitor, Buddy Jumps. Also on stage 2 for the second time. This is only his second appearance, and he's made it to the second stage both times. His first time was on his debut in the last tournament when he ran out of time on the vehicle ramps. So speed will be a key here. Will Buddy be able to keep up a good pace? He's onto the brick climb, moving nicely. He's of course the Halo Ninja Warrior Grand Champion, hoping to repeat the feat on this course. And he's moving very fast at the moment up the spider walk. Moving across, skips a column as well. Buddy is clearly a competitor who learns from past mistakes. He has no intention of being beaten by the clock today. Onto the balance tank. There's a little shot to get onto it. Maybe he jumped onto it a little bit early, but he's got the time at the moment. Moving nicely and gets off nicely. Now for the metal spin. He's another competitor that's familiar with this obstacle. Can he do it? Oh my goodness! Oh, okay. That was funny. For a split second then he failed, and then he didn't fail. So it's all good. Now for the vehicle ramps. This is where he failed in the last tournament. He's better with the time at the moment. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds, but Buddy cruises to the finish line with 6.6 seconds left on the clock. Nicely done by Buddy. The Halo Ninja Warrior Grand Champion will be advancing to the third stage for the first time on Ninja Warrior Halo. Is total victory a possibility for the Halo Ninja Warrior Champion? Well, following the success of EExpose and Buddy, we saw 2 more competitors run the course. First was the veteran Spiteful, who we saw bag the fastest ever time through stage 1 earlier on in the tournament. And he kept up an equally fast pace in stage 2, finishing with almost 15 seconds left on the clock. But he did receive a 5-second time penalty for shooting the mine before he touched it. But he still finished with the fastest time so far. Then we had the All-Star and the King of the Derps, X-Dom the Bomb X, take on the stage, and he trolled us a little bit by doing the brick climb at super fast speed. Despite that though, he actually came in with a very slow time and barely managed to beat the clock. Hearts were in their mouths by the end, but Dom just made it with less than a second left on the clock to advance to the third stage for the 4th tournament in a row. That leaves 4 competitors still to run the stage. Who else will be moving on to the next round? Next up is Soul Reaper 1025, one of the so-called originals, because he's been doing this course since the first Halo Reach tournament in Tournament 2, more than 2.5 years ago. This is his second time in 3 tournaments on the second stage, having made it this far in Tournament 12 and beating it to advance to the 3rd stage for the first time in Tournament 12. But as I said earlier, this version of Stage 2 is much different to the Tournament 12 version. Can Soul still handle it? Moving nicely up the spider walk. He's a pretty decent jumper, is Soul. Not much of a talker, but he is a very determined competitor. Always wants to do well. But he has still got that weird spider walk technique that I don't quite like getting out of it. He's onto the bounce tank. Shoots it onto the track. Rolling it nicely. Very nicely, actually. Very fast. Nicely done by Soul. Now for the metal spin. He's not that familiar with this obstacle. Can he do it though? Oh no! Oh, Soul, what on earth happened there? It looked like he had it for a split second, but then he slid off the other side of the column. That is so unlucky by Soul, and he won't be heading back to Stage 3. But next up, heading to the start line, is a competitor who's been doing Halo jumping courses for more than 5 years now. It is Double back for his 9th appearance on this course. But this is his first time since Tournament 11. He's missed Tournaments 12 and 13 for some unknown reason. But now he is back, and his comeback, on his comeback, he actually made a nice piece of history by becoming the 100th person to ever clear Stage 1. Can our 100th ever successor on Stage 2 make it to Stage 3? He also takes the shortcut onto the spider walk. Oh my god, but he's landed on the window there. Oh, he could have been in a bit of trouble there. And he's lagging, and he's using the windows again. He's freaking got a weird-ass technique today, his on the spider walk. But he's moving through it nicely. Now for the balance tank. Now we saw in Stage 1, he's friggin' how bizarre he was on it. Oh my god, but he's not today. He normally suffers massive lag spike and is sort of ghost walking across it. But not on Stage 2 for some reason. Must have good connection today. That's once in a blue moon that happens. Now for the metal spin. Handles that very nicely as well. Now for the vehicle ramps. The end is in sight, but time is maybe against him. No, it is not. Look at go on the vehicle ramps. That was perfect. That was picture perfect from Double 3.2 seconds left on the clock. Did look like he was in a bit of trouble with the time limit, but he stepped it up nicely. Yeah, as you can see here, he was actually going a little bit slow through the obstacles, but on the vehicle ramp, he really picked up the pace there at the end, and he will be heading back to the 3rd stage. A great comeback so far from Double 2 competitors left to go now. Next up is Mr. Crabman, the master of Stage 2, the all-star and host of Halo Ninja Warrior. It is SMOKEY MASSACRE. Will he put on another masterful performance in Stage 2? I've said it before, guys. I will say it again. If you want to know how to do Stage 2, watch a SMOKEY MASSACRE run, because he is just absolutely dominant on this stage. Always puts on a good performance on this stage. Takes the shortcut onto the spider walk. Moving oh, SMOKEY! That was a near miss. That was a near miss by SMOKEY, but he's recovered nicely. And skips more columns super fast, made it look like that slip never even happened. And now for the bounce tank. Now I seriously wouldn't recommend doing what SMOKEY's about to do! SMOKEY! Oh, you beauty! Onto the metal spin. He should be more familiar with this obstacle than anyone else. And he is! Would have been an embarrassment if he'd failed that obstacle. Now for the vehicle ramps, and just look at the time still on the clock. Watching SMOKEY makes you wonder why so many people struggle with the time limit on this stage. 16.4 seconds left on the clock. It is another masterful performance by SMOKEY, and a lovely finish and exit there as well. He did have that one slip up on the spider walk, but he landed on the lower column. And after that, he was dominant, skipping across the columns there, pole vaulting his way across the balance tank. And once again, he has set by far and away the fastest time so far in Stage 2. Well done to SMOKEY MASSACRE. Last up to take on Stage 2 is the overall star, Drago is Sick, taking on the second stage for a record 6th straight appearance in a row. Can he beat Stage 2 this time? Can he forget about the dark memories of his last appearance 2 tournaments ago when he failed the balance tank? Takes the right hand, okay, he takes his usual right hand side onto the brick climb, but then ends up on the left hand side anyway, so it didn't matter. He's onto the spider walk, takes the shortcut onto it. He may have missed the last tournament, but he doesn't forget how to do these obstacles. Drago is moving nicely so far, skips the column there, and is very quickly down the downward section. Now for the balance tank. Now this is where he failed 2 tournaments ago. Has he learned from past mistakes? He goes for the big jump, but he pulls back, playing it safe. And yeah, you can clearly tell he's failed this before, playing it very safe. He's onto the metal spin though, the worst is behind him. He goes for it, lands it, and gets off the other side nicely. Now for the vehicle ramps. The end is in sight. He has failed this obstacle once before. He's playing it safe. He doesn't want to lose this now when he's got it within his grasp. 10 seconds as the klaxon sounds, but Drago makes it, and makes it with 3.3 seconds left on the clock and is advancing to Stage 3. Well done to Drago is Sick. He takes his revenge on Stage 2. Nicely done by Drago, and a lovely pose to finish the stage. Drago was looking pretty solid. He was cool, calm and collected on the first 3 obstacles, didn't rush, but likewise didn't make any silly mistakes. And then he came to the balance tank. He did the big jump to get onto it, but then he held back and played it safe. And once he got past that obstacle, he played it safe on the other obstacles as well. Finished with a slow time, but nevertheless, Drago is Sick, has made it, and will be advancing back to the 3rd stage. Well done to Drago is Sick. Before we go guys, let's have a look at Stage 2's Ninja Killer. 7 competitors failed this stage, and many of them struggled with the time limit, including some of those that actually cleared the stage. Cam and Master Neuromat came close, but both ran out of time on the vehicle ramps. But it was actually the new obstacle, the metal spin, that caused the most problems, taking out 3 of our challengers, including former 3rd stage finalist Soul Reaper 1025. So clearly, this is an obstacle to watch out for in future tournaments, and tread very carefully. And that brings to an end Stage 2 guys. We saw a record 15 challengers step up to take on the stage of speed. And as we saw, 7 of them failed, but 8 men were able to succeed and move on to the next round. And that is another record for the most highest number of clears ever in one tournament on Stage 2. But now for Gotank's Exposed Body Jumps, I Spiteful, X-Dom Double X, Double SMOKEY MASSACRE, and Drago is Sick. They have all contributed to history by making it a record number into Stage 3. But the question is, do any of them have what it takes to beat Stage 3 and advance to the final stage? Could one of them achieve total victory in this record-breaking tournament? Join us next time guys to find out in the final episode of Tournament 14. Until next time guys, like, comment and subscribe. I've been HuntUnit751. Bye bye.